Yeah, let the big dog hunt. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Philly Pulse, your city's sports beat. I'm your host, Joe Stazak, along with my co-host, Micah Warren, Isabella McGarvey, and of course, Sean Laka, the very verbose one that usually his lips are flapping but doesn't say much. Um, but
Laka?
we're
My
back
last
for
name's Lochner. Laka?
what?
You said Laka.
I thought you got close enough.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
close
Whatever.
enough. Come on.
Whatever.
Um, So welcome for another episode. Of course, we introduced Izzy last week. Great job, and she's back for week number two. Let's get right into it. Sean, you mentioned 9 more Sundays until Eagles football. Of course, they start on a Thursday night this year. 65 days away, playing the Cowboys, division rival. There hasn't been a back-to-back division winner in the NFC since 2005. Does that change this year? Anybody?
Uh,
Commanders coming on
Nate?
now. Oftentimes, a team that really their delta last year from the previous year, I think, was like 10 games, 12 games, wins. Usually that comes back maybe toward the mean a little bit, but I don't know. I wouldn't bet against Jaden Daniels, but Cowboys
No,
don't
I
impress me.
better possibility of it happening again this year, but I think
You
what
think
you've
so, really?
seen, yeah, I mean, I think the Eagles have a solid chance of repeating as
No,
division
that's what
champs.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but I don't know. History shows that it doesn't happen, so I wouldn't bet on it. But it
Even
wouldn't
with this
surprise
team,
me.
you wouldn't bet this year that they're going to repeat and break that streak.
No, Joe, because I think this year I'm just kind of going in with I if it's going to happen, if a repeat's going to happen, I just want to enjoy it from day one all the way through the very end. I just want to see it happen. I don't want to have to stress or I say that now, but after the
Well,
first Sunday.
you're going to stress or you're not going to stress, but either way, it's going to happen. But I'm not talking about repeating winning the Super Bowl. I'm just talking about repeating winning the division.
Right.
I'm not confident. To me, I'm completely confident they're going to win the division.
I kind of am too. I think they're that much better than everybody else. Sorry, Izzy. I do think Dallas is going to be better. I wouldn't be
I
surprised if
agree.
Dallas finishes ahead of Washington. Um, like you said, stay exact. You have that one blip on the radar where you're getting good, and everyone now you're hyped up a little more. Maybe you're more of a target, and uh, it's going to be a rough schedule for them. And here's the other thing. This has not much to do with anything, but that's what I'm here for. You know, Jaden Daniels' mother is very protective of him
Yes.
and dating. Have you
Yes.
seen
Yes.
I haven't seen the video, but apparently there's a wedding video where he was just like dancing with someone at a wedding and his mom is standing like right behind him. Is that a
Pretty
little bit
creepy.
much?
I'd
He's
say so.
Jaden Daniels, really? I
I
mean,
mean,
That's
you are an
yeah.
adult. Was he 23 years old? I mean,
Jaden Daniels. Hey, Mom, I'm Jaden Daniels.
I I appreciate erring on the side of professionalism and focus, but I mean, something might snap if it. What do you just keep him
He's
in
at
a
a
room tied
wedding.
up?
That's
It's
Target
a
rich.
wedding.
Target rich environment with all the bridesmaids. Was he
I
with her
mean,
name?
I'm like
Is
21.
Is
I'm
he?
almost 21. And
Okay.
like if I saw a guy and his mom with that, no, not into that.
timeout. This is a
But he's
different
not even
guy.
necessarily trying to get with this
Yeah,
person or whatever.
He's
exactly.
Jaden Daniels, though. Does that change anything?
Um,
And what do you think of the guy? You think like he's a mama's boy, or he's soft, or he's like
Yes, we need you for
subservient
this.
to his mom? Even if it's like Jaden Daniels or Tua or Brian Greasy, I don't know.
Dak.
I mean,
Dak,
I think Mama's Boy is like, I think that whole thing is just kind of weird in general. I mean, I
not
get it, it's
attractive.
Jaden Daniels, but at some point it's like, maybe let's not do
All right,
that.
because you
The
are that
grown
same.
adult.
Okay, fair enough. But because you are in that age group, superstar NFL quarterback, not that that matters anything to you personally, I get it. But it is a celebrity. Like there's a draw there. It's better than,
Yeah.
Hmm.
me in college who was like getting high and playing guitar. I mean, that's not
I
a.
mean, like, you can get a bodyguard then. You don't need your mom to do that. Watch over you
His
at a
mom's gonna
wedding.
hire a
Like,
chaperone.
Damn right well she'll still be right there with him.
All
She'll be
right,
standing right next
is
to that
you're at a
bodyguard.
wedding and you see like, or go back to Mike, is like a celebrity. Is that more attractive? Is that more? Is there a bullseye on his head?
I mean, I'm not a person that's like into celebrities. Like, I don't have like I don't really get starstruck. Like, I think it's cool. I've been around some athletes before, but I can 100% say like other girls my age, that would be like their thing. So I
Totally.
guess in some ways, his mom can be valid for looking out for him. I just think it's maybe a little bit much.
Do you think his
Really,
mom
Jade?
pushes it up
Like,
a little
Mom, did
bit
you see what
more
I just
though?
did? I won 12 games and went to the NFC title game. Really?
Do you think she sparks it up a little bit more because of the attention that she's getting?
I think so. I probably, yeah. It probably becomes like she wants to become like a thing, maybe.
And you never know. And I have no problem erring on the side of, caution, but that's gonna have to, I mean, what is he, 23, 24?
Sure. He must have made a really bad decision at a young
Yeah, you
age.
know what, Sean, that's a good point. Did you do something to warrant this? It's kind of
I
like
don't know.
when you go to any restaurant and there's some weird rule on the wall and you're like, what the? It's because
Right.
it happened. It's there for a reason.
That rule is there. Absolutely. They implemented that
Yeah.
after someone did
Yeah.
something
Uh-huh.
completely ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
We'll
Totally.
have
All
to
right.
keep, we'll monitor the
Yeah, we'll
situation.
monitor that. We'll put that right up there with the WNBA.
Okay. Trade in the NFL. They pretty big trade. Jalen Ramsey got traded for Minka Fitzpatrick, and a few other guys got thrown in the mix. Steelers and Dolphins. Steelers seem to
Going
kind of
all in?
they kind of do things randomly. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason. Like they picked up a guy who's he's not as buttoned up as Minka. I think I like Minka's attitude a little bit better, but I both probably past their prime. Um, Jalen Ramsey a little bit of a wild card, and they had to pay him more for that swap, and they're already number one in the league in their defensive payroll, and they're last in the league in their offensive payroll, and that shows. Why does Pittsburgh do things the way they do you think? I know they've always been known, since the Steel Curtain and blah, blah, blah. They still haven't paid TJ Watt. They still haven't given him a contract. He's going to be the highest paid player in football soon. Um,
The
is it
Steelers in general are just
is
a
it because
well-run
of the
organization.
quarterbacks in their division? Lamar, Joe Burrow.
Chase and Higgins,
Yeah,
there's wide receivers that need to be addressed in that.
right.
But in general, Pittsburgh just does things the right way. So speaking of Minka Fitzpatrick, that's when I was so shocked. In his second year after being a Dolphins first round pick in 2018, the Dolphins traded him. And it's like, you hit on the first round pick. Why are you trading him?
Right.
A year after that, that's what you do with Trent Richardson, not with Minka Fitzpatrick. And the fact that the Steelers gave up a first round pick, they do not trade first round picks. You find me an instance, just think of something off the top of your head when they traded a first round pick, they don't do it. So that's when I was like, oh my God, this guy must be really good. They don't do that.
Do you
And
think
meanwhile, the Dolphins are now trading for him back. Like, you already had him.
Right.
But
It's kind of like, okay, well, we messed up. So
in terms of payroll, Minka's about 15.5 million. So that's going to the Dolphins. The Dolphins will probably eat about 5 million of dead money. Um, I don't know. Ramsey might be replacing him at safety, which you just spent more to get him.
well, you
However, when
mentioned
you
the pre-show, you got Joey Porter and the other cornerback there.
Darius Slay from the
Yeah,
Eagles,
Darren Slay. And
so
does Slay
Ramsey
have
can
anything
play
left
the
in the tank?
slot.
Does he have anything left in the tank?
Who, Slay? He
I
had a
thought he
good year
played real
last
well
year.
last year, except for the Atlanta game after Saquon dropped the ball. But other than that, like I didn't think he was really worth the hype previously.
I thought he had a good year last year.
Last year,
But I,
he had a
yeah,
really good year.
but I think it was time to move on. That's fine. He's probably going to play outside with Joey Porter, and Ramsey will play inside. But you mentioned other players in the deal. That wasn't a throw-in. Jonnu Smith had a year last
The
year.
tight end.
Yeah, and I've written about it so much. I don't just randomly remember this stuff. I've just written about it probably 10 times today alone. He caught 88 balls last year for 884 yards and 8 touchdowns. And a lot of that was in the second half. He made the Pro Bowl, which no one really cares about. I mean, it's the Pro Bowl. Yeah. How many guys didn't show up?
He's
Um,
going to Pittsburgh, right?
he's in the deal.
Well,
So they get a tight end to go.
Fryerman was already there.
So they're going to use both of them.
That's
They've been
unbelievable.
talking about trading Jonnu for a while, and he became this. People look at it as a throw-in. I was like, no, they've been trying to get him for a while,
It's not a
and
throw.
now the Dolphins just traded for Darren Waller from the New York Giants, who has to come off the
unretired,
retirement list.
right?
He's had some big years in the past, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And the rest of the Dolphins tight ends, like, I'll give you $5 for each one you can guess. I can't, and I just wrote about him 15 minutes ago.
So Joe, you were asking about Slay if he still has anything left in the tank.
Yeah.
Does Jalen Ramsey still have anything left in the
Don't
tank?
know. I think he's a little on that,
Sure.
on the downside. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
And
because
go ahead. He's a little bit
I
low.
was a little shocked that they gave up on Minka Fitzpatrick.
You know,
At
He's on
first
the
when I saw,
decline.
yeah, no,
He's on
I
he's
get
on a
it.
little bit of the decline. Ramsey, I don't think has been elite in years. I think he is so
Yeah, I just thought
overhyped.
it was
I do
And
too, and that's
same.
why, like, he went to the Ram. You remember the
eh,
Super Bowl? He got burned
Yeah,
twice.
he
yeah,
Of
gets
course,
burned a lot.
it's no
yeah.
shame with the Bengals receivers, but James Harrison, who I think, undrafted, but just you don't want to mess with James Harrison.
No, I wouldn't want
Do
him to
not want to
punch me in
mess
the
with James
face.
Harrison. But he came out and said the best thing about Mike Tomlin is he's a player's coach, and the worst thing about Mike Tomlin this week is he's a player's coach. Like, and a lot of guys need more structure, and they get a little soft. He gets a little soft. You agree with that? And I personally think they're not going to go anywhere this year. I think they'll be a little better. They have Aaron Rodgers, but they didn't replace George Pickens and whatnot. But I think this might be his last year. What are your thoughts on Mike Tomlin and the end of the road?
I think a lot of Steelers fans are ready for him to go, but since was it 1969, they've had four head coaches, three.
Which is crazy.
Uh,
Is that unbelievable?
Chuck
It's
Noll,
kind of
Cowher,
awesome.
Chuck Noll, Cowher, and
and
Mike.
Tomlin.
Like
And I
what?
got to see all four of them, which is crazy to me.
So they don't make those moves lightly, but I think a lot of people feel in Pittsburgh that he plays down to the level of competition too often.
Mhm.
That's the feeling I always got from Steelers fans. I mean, if it's time to go, look, the Eagles got rid of a Hall of Fame head coach, and no one in Philly said a word because it was just time for everybody to try something
Yeah.
different.
But he wasn't a
And it
Hall
was
of Fame
best
head
for
coach
both
at that
parties.
time.
No,
No,
but come
but
on, Joe. You knew he would be. You can't tell me you didn't know what.
I didn't think he'd
Big
rip off like
Red,
three Super Bowls.
Big Red
Oh,
was
I
a
thought
Big Red was a
I.
bum when he was here. He was a
He
bum.
was not.
He was
He
a
was
bum.
not. Get the
Oh,
hell out of here,
please.
dude. You're
Bum.
full of shit. No, come,
Bum.
Joe. Joe,
How do you
slow
do in big
down on the
games? How do you do
medication.
in big games?
Five NFC championship games.
Come
How do we
on.
define
He
big games? Because
became a Hall of Fame head coach when I give him credit for this because he is pretty good at putting teams together quickly. Went to KC, they were 2-14 the year before. Next year they're 11-5. When he went up and went and they moved up 17 spots to take
yeah,
Patrick Mahomes.
yeah.
That's credit to him. But
Sure.
to me that's when he became a Hall of
But
Fame.
when you say big games, this is what gets me because for a long time it was Andy and Donovan can't win the big one. It changes for everybody what a big game means. Izzy can tell you. They said that about Romo. They say it about Dak. Well, what's the big game? Well, for Romo, it was any playoff game, but the bar is different for Donovan and Andy. They won a
Donovan,
lot of big games. They won a lot of playoff games.
yeah, and they call him the winningest coach. I always called him the non-losingest coach in the history of the Philadelphia.
Okay, but do you think Doug Peterson was a better head coach than Andy Reid?
No, but he did won a Super Bowl.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll take Doug Peterson's 3 or 4 years over Big Red. He was
And then as soon as Doug said, I want more control, they were like, no, you're done.
He wasn't a bum, but he had some issues at times with clock management, getting plays in. Little stubborn on the wide receivers until like T.O. came there and
But that wasn't his
I
fault
no,
leaving.
I
not
agree with Joe
leaving,
on
but
that.
in terms of
He did have some
fine.
years
He
of
did though. He did draft Shady in the second round. He got Macklin in the first round, and he got Deshaun. So he started to look. He got Tyreek Hill, a fifth round pick out of West Alabama. I mean, he does do a nice job putting teams together.
He's
And he is a nice man. I was a little rough on him when he was here because
still being rough on him.
I am because he did a lot of stupid things.
But he was
Sure.
also that was his first head coaching job. He was never a coordinator. He was the quarterbacks coach of the Packers when he
With the
came here,
Packers.
which at the time was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't a coordinator first. I was like beside myself.
Do you
So,
remember?
there was a big learning curve for him, and we watched it.
Do you
We
remember when they
watched the blown
introduced him?
timeouts and the clock management, and I got to do a better job.
Yeah, he came in with all the binders. This is my plan for the team. Just
Mhm.
And he
wow.
got the job. It's very organized.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very organized.
Time's yours.
Do you remember the guy, the first game with Andy Reid, they played the Cardinals, and
And that was about Brian Finneran,
all right, you got it.
and he cut
It was-
him, and then that was right around the time of the George Hegeman blocking sled.
Yeah, the
Oh,
sled.
yes.
Who was the cornerback that was covering Finneran for the Cardinals?
For the Cardinals, what it was Neas was a safety, so it
No, it
probably
was him.
Oh, was it Aeneas Williams?
Very nice. All right,
Okay.
he's done. Get him out of
Am I
here.
ruining the
Yeah, get
questions?
him out of here. I didn't even,
No trivia this week.
he's like the guy on Jeopardy, like ding, 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 before the guy gets it out, gets the question. Get out of here. Anyway, I didn't even know how did we get on that subject with
Because
Andy?
we
Your
were ragging
hatred
on
for
Andy.
Andy
Because
Reid.
Brian Finneran from Villanova, right?
Villanova.
Mhm.
Yes, and he
Yeah.
had a good 10-year career with the Falcons. He was
He
an
did.
excellent number two to guys like Peerless Price, Michael
Mhm.
Jenkins.
Yeah.
Don't start with my Ohio State's Michael Jenkins.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick.
Yeah, don't start with Michael Jenkins. We have a history. So, by the way,
He hates him too.
the field house, it's called Finneran Field House at Nova. It's not Brian Finneran. It's
No,
some stiff who made a lot
Well,
of
they
money.
had to do a name change immediately on that one. So
Well, they did a name change after what's his name? DuPont shot and killed someone.
yes.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
didn't
show
go
for a
well.
different day.
But
so Philly has a WNBA team coming up.
what do you think of
Yeah.
that? Because I know you have some issues with the WNBA. I have an issue with the jealousy of Caitlin. First of all, not taking her to the Olympics was ridiculous.
Stupid.
She's ninth in All-Star voting. What? Are you? She's the golden goose.
I know.
Why doesn't anyone get?
What's their problem with her? That is a whole different
What
tirade.
is
I'm
their
so mad
problem with
about.
Caitlin? I mean, look.
But it's
She
got
does
me
she does
interested.
this once in a while. I don't care. That's kind of funny. That's
She
what.
got the crowd all hyped up, and after the game, after she had done her getting everybody hyped. And she said, "Look, we're entertainment. So people pay to come see us. We're entertainment, and I want to entertain." I was like, "This girl's awesome.
She's awesome.
She makes me want to watch." I last Sunday, I was like, "Hey, 3 o'clock. I want to watch the."
You texted me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
did.
texted.
I'm on
Yeah.
record. I wanted to
Yeah.
watch it. It's got me interested because I get into Caitlin Clark and the rivalry with Angel Reese. Um, and it's the more I care, the angrier I get to see how this place is run.
It's
I mean, they just expanded. Was there any other expansion teams besides Philly?
Cleveland and Detroit.
3 of them?
Hmm.
Who's making the business decisions? They lost what, 50 million a year last year with Caitlin Clark, with her. They've lost money every single year, and they're subsidized by the NBA. The NBA. They would. What is is it Rob Parker? One of the journalists calls it the welfare NBA. Now I know leagues take time to build up, and I think people are really getting behind the WNBA now. But why are you expanding and thinning yourself out if you're losing money as it is? I don't see the purpose. I don't get it.
just getting
Well,
maybe
I
getting a
feel
little ahead of
like
themselves. I mean, I agree with you.
I'm kind of shocked that Philadelphia. It took Philadelphia this long to get a team. I mean, I think.
How do you think the fans will respond? Because
I think I like it.
Clark only
Yeah, I think
going to
it'll be
show
good
up in
here.
a few games.
I think it'll
Like,
do well.
like it sounds cool, but if Caitlin Clark's
I-
not coming to town, are we going to watch the whatever they're
So
going
I
to
will tell you this: I lived in Minnesota when the Lynx were, just winning championships every single year. And I was working in Minneapolis, right around the corner from the Target Center, and they loved their women's basketball team.
Did
in
you go to any
Minneapolis.
games?
I did not. I did not. The only games that I ever went to were when the Sixers came into town. So, yeah, I was.
What do you think about WNBA? You know Caitlin Clark, yes?
Yeah.
You
I think
watch it? Would you watch it? Do you like her
I
in
don't.
the league? I think she's great for the league.
I think she's great for the league too. I think it's been really cool to see how much of an effect she's had, like on all of women's sports. Don't know if I'd choose to go to a game just in general. I'm not really into the NBA either, but I'd definitely be more inclined to go to a game if I was going to be watching like Caitlin Clark.
Would you go to a game with Jaden Daniels with his mother? The 3 of you. The court
I don't know
side.
if
Hear
he's
me out.
gonna
Hear me out.
go.
Court side.
You
All the
have to,
snow caps
sit
and
kinda
junior
far.
mints.
As he gets an invite from his
I don't
mother,
like junior
you are
mints.
cordially invited to join us.
What did you just say?
I don't
You don't like junior mints?
I don't like chocolate and mint. I don't like.
I like the ones they put on a
It's like
pillow, but other than
toothpaste.
that, no.
I don't get the anti-chocolate thing. I don't.
No,
said with mint. She
I'm
said
with
with
her with the mint. I don't like thin mint Girl Scout cookies. I thought they were
They're
awesome.
the
I
when I
best
was a
think
ones.
kid.
they're-
They're the best ones.
Nah.
They're the best ones.
No, the best
No.
ones are Samoas are good.
What are they?
Yeah.
The one with the coconut and
Yeah, I
chocolate.
thought
Oh,
you
Yeah,
were
coconut.
saying
Wait,
Good-
wait, wait.
They're
You're
good
gonna
lights.
sit here and complain about Junior Mints and tell me you like
I
coconut-based
didn't
energy drinks?
complain. I
Bro,
didn't force
No,
you
you were. You
forced
were on a
them.
tirade about Junior Mints.
This is all coming
You
from a
forced
man
JD
that
Daniels
likes
and his
snow
mom to
caps.
give them to me.
I love snow caps. That's the reason you go to the movies. And some theaters
You'll
don't
go there
have
and
them, and
pay
I think
like
they should be
13
shut
bucks for a
down.
box of snow caps.
I can.
I know. When did
Pretty cheap there.
what was it? 2012, the Amy Schumer train wreck movie came out.
Which one?
And
The one where she was a cheerleader?
No, train
yeah,
wreck.
with the LeBron James one. My wife and I never went to the movies, but we went to see that. 2 tickets and 2 bags of popcorn, $50.
Ouch.
Oh,
Ouch.
please.
Ouch.
I'll
You
stay
know, I
home
s-
and watch on TV.
I saw a meme that said, "Oh, how did it go? I find it so damn funny. You're a 60-year-old individual complaining about prices at the grocery store, yet you're going to your 17th concert this summer so far."
Are you guys still concert people? Izzy, are you a concert? When I was your age, totally like crowd surfing, all of it.
I'm
Me
not
too.
not a
Loved it.
huge concert guy.
I still
I'm not
go to
anymore.
concerts.
Izzy, are you a concert person?
I mean, I'm so broke, so maybe I would be if I had money, but
See,
started-
Izzy,
we
back
started
in our
GoFundMe.
day, we could sneak into places.
Oh,
Now
I
it's
wouldn't do
become
that.
so.
Maybe rule breakers would. I wouldn't do that.
I did.
I paid
did.
my $18 for
But
my
I was
ticket,
the
but
type
I
of
had to like
person.
I'm with Izzy. I had to like save that. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
I
No,
would go to
I was the
concerts on
person
myself.
I used to sneak into Phillies games after the 5th inning because they kept all the gates. They opened all the gates, so I would just walk in.
So
Wow.
what would you do for the first 6 innings?
I was
Loiter
At my-
around the
no, I was
What's the
living in.
statute of limitations on loitering? I mean, you're admitting this now. They can come after you.
So I lived on 10th and Carpenter. Okay, so that was like a subway ride. So I would be watching the game and I would be like, you know what, I think I'm going to go down there. So I would just hop on the subway and walk in.
by
Why
yourself.
not? Yeah, I used to go to games all the time by myself.
I've done that. When I worked on Long Island, I'd have to drive back to New Jersey every day, which is so stupid. Why would anyone do this for a crappy job? I did. But if the Phillies were in town, I'd go to buy Shea and just
Yeah.
scalp a ticket for 20 bucks, which, by the way, brings me to another topic. I miss the actual physical ticket. And then
Same.
you could keep them and you'd have like a keepsake of all your tickets.
Yeah.
And now
Mhm.
everything's electronic. I don't even know if you can scalp tickets anymore.
I have a ticket signed by Bobby Abreu and Gavin Floyd on Gavin Floyd's first first Major League Baseball start.
Okay, here's one for you. In 95, I came back from college and the flow of information now. Izzy, when I was a freshman in college, the internet was like new. It was like, oh my God, what's this Yahoo? Swear to God. First time I ever
You've
used
got
email.
mail.
So when I came home for Christmas break, my friend had gotten Timberwolves Sixers tickets. And they were pretty good tickets. And we look over, and my friend goes, oh, look over there. And I said, what? And he's like, I think that's Kobe Bryant. And I said, who the fuck is Kobe Bryant? Because he was a high school player at the time. Like, if you didn't, there was no saw it on the internet or heard about it. If you didn't live
Yeah.
in the area, you didn't know who he was. I lived in Boston. So I went and have a 1995 Sixers ticket signed by Kobe Bryant. He was a rookie in 96, so the date's on it. And he was there to talk to Garnett about going pro out of high school. I found out later.
No way.
I don't
That's
know where
awesome.
that ticket is.
Bro.
I know.
that's
Really?
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
It's somewhere in my parents' attic. I mean, I've got boxes of baseball cards and stuff like that. I found my tickets and it's not in the tickets. I could get that verified or authenticated. It's probably worth a couple bucks. I mean, he's not signing much anymore.
So
Go ahead, Joe.
my introduction to Kobe Bryant, I walk into Prism, remember Prism one day.
Yeah.
And they're like, no internet, so you didn't get a lot of the obscure stuff or even the mainstream stuff. But I was a cameraman, or I could do the interview, but I was with someone who was going to do the interview. I was going to shoot. They said, can you go cover, there's a high school basketball game. I don't think it was at Lower Merion, but it was Donnie Carr from Roman Catholic. who I actually had heard of, and then a guy, it's Kobe Bryant. I'm like, they're like, you've heard of Kobe Bryant? I'm like, yeah, who has it? And I'm like, Brian, who's that? And he's like, that's Jelly Bean's son, Joe Bryant's son. Oh yeah, that kid. All
Oh
right,
yeah.
go check him out. So I checked out the game, and Kobe like led all scorers. Like I don't think he passed the ball at all, but he looked. I get back there. We did an interview with him. Oh, I think we did two shoots with him, and we were in a class with him. So was ESPN, and we knew this ahead of time. It was a speech class. He gets up. His topic was what it's like to be Kobe Bryant. Can't make it. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. Nice kid though. I get back to the office. They're like, "What'd you think?" Because no one else had actually seen him play. I'm like, looked a little kind of. And then the only reason he looked this way is because he was so much better than anyone. He looked very graceful, but he looked a little. I won't say lazy, but not like Donnie Carr. You see like his energy and his urgency, but so I was like, nah, he's not going to make it. So that was
Yeah.
my.
That's
There's a
our
reason
resident
I'm not a
scout, Joe
GM.
Stazak.
There's a reason I'm not a GM.
Were you the
Um,
one that cut Jordan from the freshman basketball team?
yeah, Larry Boa got
Hey, you
cut,
guys got to get rid of this kid.
right? He's a cancer. Um, so anyway, you got to find that ticket, bro.
Yeah. I remind
Yeah,
my
you
mother
got to
about it
find
regularly because once in a while I'll get a phone call and she's like, "Oh, Micah, guess what I found?" And I'm like, "The Kobe Bryant ticket." I'm not kidding. It's been ongoing. I
Wow.
want to find that ticket.
Where do you think you lost it?
It's in their house somewhere.
Is it in a book? It's got to be in a book, like a
No, it would be in a
bookmarker.
random. It would be loose. It would be loose with something.
I'm praying for you.
I know. I know. Well, I don't even know. I haven't even looked up what that might be worth because there can't be many of them.
I mean, if Micah quits the show, we know he found the ticket.
I found the golden ticket is what it is. I'm going to live with Willy Wonka and with my Kobe Bryant ticket.
My parents took me to Game 6 when the Flyers beat the Bruins in '74 to win the Cup. I have them somewhere. In fact, there's a picture of them that comes up on Facebook every anniversary of it, May 19th.
So you took a
Um,
picture of it.
I took one when Rick McLeish died, because he scored the winning goal, and I did a little thing and I put it on Facebook for May 19th. Um, I can't find them now. However, and we were on the glass to the left of Bernie, first and third period, and Hextall and Phil Muir and every other goaltender that came along. How much do you think face value on the glass, Stanley Cup winning game, game 6, deep into the finals? How much do you think they will be?
$15.
How
15
much?
bucks. 15.
Too high.
Yeah, I didn't want to
Anyone
say
else?
6.
What's that?
That's fine.
Let me tell
Izzy, you guessed. You remember what things were like in 74. I mean, the gas crisis. There was a lot going on. We're just trying to clear out of
I
Vietnam.
remember we had
We all remember where we were.
every.
Take a guess.
I was in diapers.
In
You
74? You weren't
70.
born.
No, I wasn't born yet.
you can get a cheeseburger in the Phillies, or what is it, Harry the K's or whatever,
Geno's. Remember
for
Geno's?
about the same price. 11.50. 11.50.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
11.50. It's now like $40 a part for an Eagles game.
Yes, it is.
Right?
In 1985, I had gotten, I think it was Randall's first start, front row 50-yard line, which actually at a football game is not good seats because you're
Yeah, I
behind the
know.
player.
I hear you. In theory,
Yeah.
15 bucks.
what?
15 bucks, but they didn't have our tickets at the will call. So I had to sit in an end zone 5 rows away from my father, and I was like 8 years old because they didn't have the ticket.
End zone, if you're down by the field, is to me, it's better than the 50-yard line. Like you're right there. You're on the, but I
The
get what you
best
mean when you're in the middle and the 50 and you're up a little bit. Like in theory,
You got to be up a little bit.
yeah.
the steal is Citizens Bank Park. Just getting general admission, and you can literally stand behind home plate and just watch it. I liked standing. That was kind of my thing. I like
I
walking
could never do
around.
that.
I
I'd
don't
rather
need a
sit.
seat. There's not a bad seat in that stadium.
Beautiful,
So
especially in the summer when I play baseball.
yeah.
But
So and
the
plus
left
my
field, the sun going down, it's
Uncle
phenomenal.
Gene's a cameraman in center field, so
I'm
it's
going to
always
see him
good to
tomorrow night. Yeah,
not. You're going tomorrow night?
to the funeral.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
Although
I'll
there
be.
is a game, and there's a lot of those guys who are, yeah, maybe he might go Thursday morning.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's always good to walk around there. So I think it was a steal. It was $10 for general admission.
Back in
Is that
08,
what it is?
It used to be. I don't know what it is now, but 08 it was $10. I went to a lot of games in 08.
That was the place to be in 07, 08.
Mhm.
Like you just go in on a Friday night and it's standing room and there's
Oh, it was the
dudes and
best. It was the
tremendous.
best.
Izzy, what's the closest
just-
baseball stadium you
I was
have
just
down
going to
there?
ask for that.
Great American. Oh wait, sorry, not in Cincinnati, in Florida.
Yeah.
There was the one in Tampa got super messed up during the
Sure.
hurricane, so it
They're
would have
playing
been
in a
that
minor
one,
league field.
Yeah.
but they play in that, yeah. And then I guess other than that, the Marlins, and then
Well, Gator-
Atlanta.
Gator baseball, they're a solid squad, right, Izzy?
Yeah, they've been pretty good. The head coach Kevin O'Sullivan, like he has taken them to the postseason like every single year since he's been here. But ever since Jack Caglione kind of left, we haven't been as good as we were.
Well, you have a really good softball team a lot too, don't you?
Yeah, they went to the College World Series. I think they lost in the first round, though.
Okay.
But yeah, they've been super good.
What's the cost to go to a ticket at the Swamp on a Saturday?
For football.
Yeah, football.
Okay.
So it's expensive, but
it?
for students,
Yeah.
you can buy student tickets and that you get all the home games together,
Right.
and it's a pretty good deal. It's like, I think it was this year, it was around $270, $250 for
That's actually
all
pretty
home
good.
games.
Per
Yeah.
game or all the games?
No, those are for all the games
That's
Yeah.
tremendous.
together.
Yeah.
I have a. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I've sold tickets before. I've like, if I'm not gonna be there, and people will pay like 130, 150, like it gets up there.
You go scalp them? You're that person in the parking lot?
No,
Be honest.
Who's
Be
selling
honest.
tickets?
I'm not.
Who's selling
I'm the
tickets?
person tailgating for 5 hours beforehand.
I was gonna say, what time do you get there for? Are they play a lot of noon games there or 3:30?
Oh, thank God, not a lot of noon games. We actually don't have any home noon games this year, but the tailgates start, I'd say like 3.5, 4-ish hours before the game starts, but then you have the pregame like 2 hours
Of
before
course
the
you do.
tailgate.
You
It's
got
a
somebody's
long
doing
day.
Yeah.
I'll never forget my first experience of college football. I was dating a girl she was going to the University of Colorado. I flew out to hang out with her for the weekend. We went to the game. I got student tickets. I had to borrow a friend of hers student ID that I sort of looked like. Got in, was the time of my life, and then came back home, and I was out to dinner with her dad, and he was like, he had no idea I was out there, and was like, oh, she got to experience her first college football game with a friend of hers from school. It was so awesome. It's a shame you weren't able to go. And I'm like, oh, meanwhile, it was me.
I have a similar experience to Izzy because my ex-wife went to Penn State, so I went there once. I can't do it. Now, I was like 27 years old at the time, but I just thought it was in the student section. The whole town's a mess. It is so overcrowded. Bars are all 3 deep. Every single bar is 3 deep. Like, I just want to sit after this. And during the game, I'm at the student section. Everyone's standing.
You
They're
sound
like
like a
standing
curmudgeon.
on their own bleachers. Like, sit down.
Yeah,
It's second
Oh
and
my God, they're having
It's
fun.
just-
Jesus, they're having fun. What's wrong with these kids?
I'm that guy. Izzy, is
Dude,
there
you-
people like me at the games that are like, hey, everybody, why don't you just relax, all right? It's still the second quarter.
You don't know how to have fun.
I mean, so like half of we have a lot of students. Like half of the stadium, almost half is a whole student section, and then the other side is like where most of the like adults sit. So it's not super like that because there's kind of a divide. But I mean, if you're in the student section, everyone's going to be standing. It's just like it is what it is.
That's what they told me. Like, dude, you're in the student section. I was like, I don't care, okay? This is not right.
Well,
I'm just.
that's how it is.
Can you have any idea why my wife would divorce me? I'm like, I'm this much fun all the time.
Seriously.
Man, what a witch.
But the thing is, like, even
I mean, she went to
if you
Penn
have
State,
an
so-
assigned like ticket or seat, like you're not going to sit there. Everyone just sits forever, and people will be like, "Well, you're in my seat," and it's just like, I don't know what to tell you.
Find another
That was
one.
me, Izzy. That was me.
Yeah,
I
you're
stood
the
up
worst kind
because
of person.
I had to stand up to see the game because everyone was standing in front of me. And when I did, the person behind me stood on my seat.
Yeah,
So when
because
it
you're
was
6'5".
I'm 6'3". Why do you think I'm Manute Bowl? I was turned around. I was like, dude, you're sitting in my. They looked at me like I was crazy for mentioning that you're standing on my seat.
Yeah, yeah.
Izzy, is
Yeah.
that just not?
It's college.
Is,
It's just like you sit where you sit. Like,
well, that is out of control to me.
I mean,
This place is out of hand.
they don't sit in the student section. I don't know what to
At
tell
Boston
you.
University, we didn't have a student section because we didn't have a real stadium.
Did
It
you
was
have
like
a
a
football
big
team?
high school bleachers.
So that's what it is. He's just jealous. 100,000 people
Yeah,
That
I
was
here.
at
see
Penn, that was at Penn
different.
State?
The only thing we got out of BU football was if you lived on West Campus where I did, which is right on Nickerson Field, which Babe Ruth played there years ago. So we got that. The band had to warm up. Man, all right, Izzy, you tell me, do college students still sleep like we used to? Because 7 a.m., 8 a.m., the band practicing outside your window on a Saturday morning
I love a marching band.
at
Of
7
course
in
you
the
do, Joe.
morning when you're in
Florida
college, and
A&M, like Florida A&M,
that's like fun stuff. This is the BU band. No one cares.
they know they're not good.
I think Joe's voicemail actually has a marching band in the background.
It's very possible.
It's
I
very
love them. I
possible.
love a good marching band.
This is Joe Stazak.
I go out to Penn State. I got to know the coach. I met the strength coach down in Miami, and he had a ring on and championship ring. And we still got to talking. Again, no internet, no phones to text. We became friendly that night. I sent him a letter. I said, we're going to be up there for the Penn State game. And a bunch of us were going. I sent him a letter. Okay, if you have extra tickets, let me know. I was living at home and my mom yells down the basement when I go, it's phone for you. Somebody with a deep, raspy voice. He says his name is Coach Roll. I'm like, Coach, are you kidding me? He's calling my house. He said, I got tickets for you. Come on up. So, okay. I mean, a total NCAA violation, the coaches, because we paid like triple. But yeah, I get there. He leaves. They were doing a walkthrough on the field at Beaver Stadium. I get there. I'm like, hey, just give me a ticket. You know what? Come here for a second. So I'm following him. We walk out on the field. Penn State, of course, the grass, they kept it this high to slow like Miami down. But doesn't that slow like the other team down too? I never understood that. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, they're doing a walkthrough, defensive walkthrough. And I'm like, yeah, let's get out of here. Like, I shouldn't be here. Everyone's, the players are in there. They're all future millionaires. You know what I mean? Sonny Lubeck was a defensive, and he goes, "Oh, I forgot something in the car." He goes, "Stay here," and he leaves. He leaves me in the middle of the defensive walkthrough. I'm right behind Darren Smith, Jesse Armstead, and Michael Barrow, and I'm standing there.
This is
I'm little, man.
1993,
What's that?
92. This is
It was
92.
92. They just beat Florida State the week before. This year they went undefeated, but they lost to
Was that a Scott Bentley game?
Alabama. No, it wasn't Scott Bentley. Scott Bentley was 90. They beat Nebraska. I think it was 93 the following year.
Okay.
The players, they weren't even listening to the coach, but they're looking around and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'll get, if you get beat, I have your backside help here. Like, what the fuck? So they won that day. And I don't know what happened to him. That's like 30 years ago. He's probably dead. But Penn State, the great tickets, but yes, we had to stand the whole time. Stand. And I don't like to stand the whole time.
I don't
Well,
either.
sometimes people are bigger than me. I can't see. I like to sit down, but they do that at Nova games. They do that Orange Bowl. Have you ever been to a game of the Orange Bowl? Everyone's standing.
I was a curmudgeon when I was 21 years old.
You were?
I mean,
Look
yeah.
at him now.
I mean, I think, again, like we said before, Izzy, when I was your age, I would go to concerts. I loved all the heavy stuff and Rage Against the Machine and Tool. And now I go see Tool and I'm like, well, you guys, if you're going to do that, can you do that somewhere else? If you're going to just like be rough, I don't want to have to worry about you rolling into my knees on the lawn here. I was probably young enough that I should have still
You're
been
like on
crowd
that
surfing.
commercial. Are you being like your parents, whatever that commercial is,
Oh, no, no,
Yeah.
no. My
Progressive.
cousin already said it. The
Progressive,
talking to the
yeah.
guy at the gas station, he's like, dude, that's you.
Totally. Yes.
The code to the
Yes.
bathroom is
Tremendous.
Oh man, reminiscing. So 30 years ago. So that must have been like what, year one of Bobby Bonilla Day, Joe? because
I'm
today
glad you're going to
is
explain that because I think that's like a hysterical story every year. Explain the Bobby Bonilla thing.
okay.
Very
So
good
if
player, by the way. Remember he was with the Pirates and
Killer bees.
he was always getting in like fights with the media. Come on, man, make your move. Remember that? Like, go
Hmm.
ahead.
so his contract that he signed with the Mets, every year until 2035, he gets
Hmm.
just over a million. What is it, 1.3, Micah?
It's
It's
Something like
something
1.3.
around. It's low
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Chump
Every
change.
single
Low
year,
ones.
he gets a check July 1st from the Mets. The Mets could not come up with stable cash at the time of the signing. During the whole, well, they didn't know what was going on, but Madoff
Bernie
pretty much
Madoff.
strapped them up at the time. So they came up with this idea that they were going to pay him these lump sums every single year. And it has now become this national thing where on social media it's Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. But it's just funny how when it hits, it hits at the right time because there's nothing to talk about in sports around
So
this
let
time
me
of the
ask you
year.
this, Izzy. I'm coming to you first. So start thinking.
Oh,
If you
God.
were had a deal where you're getting, let's say, 1.1 million every July 1st, how lazy would you be? I know how lazy I'd be. Like I know I got that check coming. No, I'm not working today.
I mean,
Come
yeah.
on, be honest. Or do you still have like ambition and stuff?
No,
Mine's
no
gone.
way. I think, yeah, I'm in the same boat for sure.
Yeah, I would be the same. I mean, I would travel a lot. I would probably, knowing me, like June 30th, I'd be like, just one more day, and then the account will not be zero again.
Speaking of Bernie Madoff, these Ponzi schemes, you know, there's like, it's almost a mathematical certainty you're going to get busted. So
Yeah,
why
you're
does
just waiting.
anyone, like the kid, what's his name, who got caught in the Miami thing? He's still under house arrest, but the little Jewish kid, um, and he made like
Sam.
$1 million,
Oh,
but
the crypto guy?
no, the one like he
The
gave so
fi-
much
I don't
money.
know, but the issue with the reason Bernie got caught, and he knew he was going to, he was just
yeah,
waiting to get caught because you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul. That's the whole
Right,
Ponzi
that's what I
scheme.
mean.
But when the economy crashes like it did in '07, '08, everyone says '08. It started in '07.
Started in
mhm,
'07, yeah.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, when everyone wants their money at once, that's how it all comes crashing down. And that's what
yeah.
happened to him.
Mhm.
But
But
it
even
doesn't
when
make
it
me
doesn't,
not
like
want to start one.
at some point, people are going to want to like cash out a little bit, maybe take some profits. You're gonna get pinched. You're gonna get pinched by your friends or whoever you're doing this with, and eventually, like, so where do you get off thinking that's gonna like? What's the thought process? Is there a thought process, behind?
No, it's, I think you get to a point where you get away with it for so long
There's the exit
that,
strategy.
There
I
isn't
mean,
one unless you
there
disappear.
isn't. Just like Micah said, I mean, he pretty much knew 2006, 2007 when the shit was about to hit the fan. It was only a matter of time before he was going to get caught
Damn, I
because
should
Well,
have
it's
thought.
kind of
everybody was like, pull out, pull out, pull out.
like do you guys watch any of the true crime stuff that's everywhere? Izzy, are you a true crime person?
It's all I watch.
Okay.
No, I like
Well, then
reality TV
Cabo,
right now.
Cabo, that's
you like
mine.
reality TV? Is that what you said?
Right now,
What's good on reality TV? Bring me up to speed. I'll watch it. I'm not
Love
above it.
Island.
Oh,
Yes, she's all about Love Island.
oh.
Meanwhile, Joe, here you go. Most people call 911 when you find a dead body. But you didn't do that, did you?
Oh, Dateline?
Yeah.
Keith Morrison's a great one too.
Well, there's a guy, what's his name?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
Oh, Bill Hader
He
does Keith
does,
Morrison, yeah.
but he does
Keith
them all, and he
Morrison.
does
He actually did
Josh.
who's
He
the
did
other
it he did it in front of Keith Morrison.
Yes, he also did it on. What he was on Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy
And
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel asked him to like do
Go deep in the archives. Do you have any like real?
Yeah, and he did Dateline. He was like, "You guys fans of Dateline? I love Dateline," and he did all of them. And
did,
it just so happened Joe and I we were watching it together,
tremendous.
and we cried for like an hour of
Right.
laughter.
So good. Who's the news guy? Instead of LOL, it was
Oh, yeah.
WTF.
Yeah, yeah.
Murphy,
They were
Dennis
smoking kush and passing
Dennis
back and
Murphy.
forth, LOLs,
He always
immediately
does the
turned
kids to
to
kill each other.
WTF.
And Josh Mankiewicz gets all the
Yeah.
Cabo trips. That's
Yeah.
mine. Um,
Y'all have to watch it.
Keith Morrison
It's-
is so friggin' good at writing and delivering. You know, that's Matthew Perry's stepfather.
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Shows what I know about Keith Morrison. All
Love
right, so
him.
anything else to wrap up with?
Yeah,
anything else?
I think one of the things that we got to talk about real quick. I mean, Zach Wheeler was just fire in the month of June. I mean, listen to this, okay? ERA of 58, 31 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, 7 walks, only gave up 2 runs. 2 runs. Batting average, his opponent's batting average was 185. That's
And he had paternity
insane.
leave.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Dude's awesome. And I mean,
He's helping
also,
raise a kid with that ERA.
yeah. And then Ranger Suarez, I mean, this dude's going to get paid. There's no way you're not trading him now. You need him.
And you're not going to keep him.
No, and not at all. I mean, here you go. Here's some stats. All right. 41.2 innings pitched, ERA of 1.3, 36 strikeouts, 7 walks, whip of 99, opponent's batting average 198. Quality starts 6 for 6. I mean, if these bats wake up, championship's ours, fellas. And
That's a big if.
I know.
If we get Barry Bonds in his prime
Yes.
on steroids,
Yes.
I think we have a chance.
If Bryce Harper's wrist stops hurting, I mean, that's the other thing too. You got it. Bryce is playing hurt. I mean, in his interview yesterday where he
Isn't
said
he always kind of playing hurt? Like every year he's got some nagging something or other.
yeah, I mean, that torque, that swing he's got, man, it's just
2 games ahead of the Mets still.
yeah, they are, but I mean,
Padres is a good squad. Padres are a very good squad.
are.
Yes, they are.
So it looks like they're going to get rained out tonight, probably. I'm going down to the game tomorrow. So
You going to game tomorrow?
tomorrow afternoon, yeah.
What time is first pitch?
1:35. So yeah, should be a good
Speaking
time.
I do have to say, shout out to Phillies associate producer John DeSangro. He did it for 20 years. He passed away on Friday. So I'll be, that's why your is it your uncle who's a cameraman?
My Uncle Gene's a cameraman,
very well liked, by the way. I asked around about him, and but
everybody
I think
loves
there's a thing on
Gino.
Thursday morning too that they'll go to. But John he was Cheney's assistant for many years. Cheney never liked anyone. He loved John DeSangro. Had a heart attack. It happens, but good stuff, fellas. Any final thoughts?
Is there any?
Izzy, give us closing thoughts.
Yes. Give us a show.
Words of wisdom.
What's the reality show we need to catch besides Love Island? I mean, you're all about it, so fill us in.
Can you tilt that mirror next time so I can see my hair and stuff?
Sure.
Well, there was also this thing called Temptation Island. There's a lot of islands in reality TV.
Which one's better? I caught my daughter Sarah like 5 years ago watching Love Island. What is this? Is this
Love Island's for sure better.
There's a lot of eye candy.
I used to watch Bachelor in Paradise. Bachelor in Paradise was always a favorite one of mine back in the day.
I think that just started, but the
did it?
franchise is going down. Yeah,
God's gotta go.
They canceled The Bachelorette, I think, this year.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
I used to be a huge fan of Big Brother. Big Brother was a show that I just loved, religiously watched.
Is Bachelorette, is that running right now? No, it's summertime. They're probably not doing anything new, right?
Well, didn't they just have controversy on the Golden Bachelor where he said something like, I won't date a woman over 60, and the whole entertainment world kind of was like, it was something like that.
That's my target audience right now. Right now. The hell are you talking about?
Oh, gosh.
Did you ever? Never mind. I'll save the reality stuff for next week. Actually, you know what? I'll make sure to watch some so I can bring something to the table.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Love Island tonight. Maybe that's how we'll day
what's
one.
our homework? What do we need to watch this week?
Love Island. New episode every day, Wednesday.
Every day?
Yep.
And where do we find this?
Peacock.
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 Yeah.
Listen to us.
I'm gonna do it.
We sound like a bunch of old curmudgeons. And where do we see this? Do I need internet?
The interwebs. My interwebs aren't working.
Is that the World Wide Web?
Izzy
All right,
doesn't get any of
good
that.
stuff,
She's
guys.
like, I'm done.
That's what we called it. www. dot.
Yes.
Right?
Did.
Always put the wwws in. Oh,
You've
brutal.
got mail.
Appreciate it, guys, for Sean Lochner and Michael Warren, and of course, Isabella McGarvey. I'm Joe Stazak for the Philly Pulse. We appreciate it, folks. You want to go around the horn where you can catch you guys individually on your social media accounts. I know you're Philly Shiz up top.
At Philly Shiz for Instagram, X, yeah, and then I put this up on Facebook as well. Yeah.
Liz?
I don't really have any.
No, but you know what you did do,
Personal
Izzy? Yeah, you got to plug what you did this past week. It's killer.
But we have a new Instagram, Twitter,
That's cool.
TikTok, where you can catch some clips.
Clips are great.
Yeah, you can put like the @ in the description box because they're all different. But
yeah. She made a page where you just click on the page and then you click on where you want to go.
It was cool.
I should probably follow those.
Life-changing. Yeah, you probably should. You probably should.
I'm busy getting the sports chatter going on Blue Sky.
You're busy buying snow caps.
Buying snow caps on Blue Sky. I'm doing both at the same time.
That giant is here again trying to buy the snow caps.
Giant.
Not that tall.
That giant. I love that.
You don't look tall to me. That's why I say it. I look at you. I'm like,
okay, Izzy,
there's
fine.
no fucking way he's 6'3".
He thought I've never met him in person. Izzy, do I seem like I'm tall by my just this?
How did you know he was tall?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I mean, you don't seem like you'd be super tall. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not. I'm 6'3".
I don't think you'd be super short either. Like, I don't know.
I think he looks like he's
It's a
like
tall unfair
5'.
question. That's why I'm asking.
Can't teach
I think he's a 5'9".
Like, for instance, I can tell that Izzy is 7'1.5".
Yeah, okay.
Very tall.
Can't
I'm
teach
5'8".
Yeah. See, I'm 6'1". When I'm 6'1", standing up straight on a good day. So, but
I'm 6'3", and the girl I've been seeing is 4'11".
Is she really?
Yeah. I just found out my daughter's 4'9", almost 4'10", and I was like, this is kind of weird.
She's a Smurf. She's a Smurf.
All right.
Good stuff. All right, we got to run. Appreciate it, folks. Thanks for watching the Philly Pulse.
All right, guys.
We will catch you
later
next week.